Hello, welcome back to Lessons Learned. I'm Sherry, and this is Monday Quilt Chat. Thank you for stopping by to chat with me today. Get the week started, start thinking about our projects and what we're going to do this week, and anything else that comes up that's on the subject of quilting, sewing, and crafting. So, this weekend, I did not return to the berry wreath. I decided to do some mindless sewing. So, I jumped into my 16 patches again, and these are the ones this time I'm doing instead of with the aqua, I'm doing with the burgundy, as I've mentioned many times. I think all in all, I'm looking at my quilt journal here, I think I made 11 blocks, so not a ton of time was spent sewing this weekend, but I got a little bit in, and that's all that matters, right? Just a little bit in. Yeah, I've got that sitting here still, and I think after I get off with you, I'm going to kind of get all of these squares off of here. I might just do a couple, 3 more blocks, and then get into something else for the week. So I'll probably jump back into the berry wreath and the the blues batik blocks that I need to put together. I think maybe this weekend, maybe Friday after I left you, I did do some of those. I did a few more of those, and getting ready to put the big sections together now. So hopefully this week we'll see some bigger swatches of that. So what do I want to talk to you about this week? I didn't make a list of things to talk about, but I have everything kind of sitting around here. I just started grabbing from here and there, and hopefully that'll jog my memory as to what I really wanted to tell you today or chat with you about. But it's very informal, not anything earth-shattering or anything that's going to be life-saving or anything like that. But I'll just kind of go through some of the things that I have for you today. I got some things in from Soya. I made a purchase a long time ago, and I finally came in. Leslie, the mother of the boys that run the shop, and boys and girls that run the shop, made some bundles, and she's good at putting bundles together. If you watch them, you all kind of know that she probably does the best out of all of them in coordinating bundles. And I did grab a couple of bundles, which later I found myself questioning why did I do that, other than they were well matched bundles. But there's not a whole lot you can do with two 2-yard bundles, right? Well, I have two 1-yard bundles, so I have 4 yards, and they just happen to coordinate. So I have 2 pink ones and 2 gray ones, and they will interestingly coordinate in a very quasi sort of way. These are actually Lori Holt's. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan of Lori Holt's. I think her fabrics and patterns are nice. I just am not a fanatic of it. I just like it every once in a while. But these are very ultra modern, but in a very subtle sort of way. So I could actually make a quilt out of these 4. And, you know, if you have 4 yards, you can make a decent sized quilt. You know, you're not just stuck with the 2 to make something with. You have, you know, a good set of colors there that actually coordinate with each other. Now, I did not buy that way on purpose. I saw them in 2 separate showings, you know, the same night but different times when they were showing them. But they all went together, so I'm not feeling too awful bad about it. And I think this was D-Stash, so, you know, $7 a yard. So, I got all that for, what? What is that? 4 times 7, 28. Do the math. Okay, so this one I am excited about. It is Tranquility by Kim Deal. And I got a fat quarter all of Tranquility. So I got a fat quarter of each one. I think there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 15. There's not that many. It's not a huge amount, but I did pick up I got another 1 yard piece of this one. And then I also got all the greens in 2 yard pieces for, I don't know, I just don't know what I'm going to need. And then I got the aqua because, well, it's kind of more of a mint on camera there. Looks more aqua to me. But I have these, and when they go through and, do the yardage, it's Hunger Games. You might want 4, 5, 6 yards for a backing, and you don't know if you're going to get it or not. So, if anyone from So Yeah is watching, I have a suggestion. I have a suggestion, and just maybe some other people would agree with me on this. That for a new stash, on a new line, which new stash is always new lines, do your 1 yard, half yard, fat quarter all, and then have enough yardage to share with everyone so that they can do their sashings, their borders, and their backings instead of doing the bundles. And yes, I know people want to sample a little bit, sometimes, but really, if you really think about it, when you get those smaller amounts in, you don't end up doing anything with them. Or you end up having to try to find the fabric later to finish your project. So think about that, you all. And if the rest of you are in agreement with me, then maybe you putting in a word about that too will have an effect. I don't know. But for destash, yes, go ahead and make up all the bundles you want to make, because it's destash. You're not investing so much in these 1 yard pieces of fabric, and you may use them, you may gift them, you may combine a lot of your 1 yards and make quilts. A lot of people do that. But new stash, come on, let's get plenty of the yardage. Get twice as much as you normally order. Everybody can get their 1 yard, half yard, fat quarter all, and the yardage that they need for their sashings, borders, and backings. Please, So Yeah, are you listening? I hope so. I think that might help you too. I don't know. We'll see what happens. That's just my 2 cents on that. Also, I got in a couple of, I didn't buy anything, well, I bought one more thing, but I'll talk about that in a minute. I got a couple of batik blocks from Anne from British Columbia, Canada. And she has 2 here. And this is good, a dark and a light, because that's what I'm needing is darks, contrasting. I'm getting down to where I have mostly medium ones. So this is very good. Thank you, Anne, for sending those. I will be including these for sure. And any of the others, as I've said before, that don't make it into this quilt, we'll use them for the next one. And then one of you was so nice to share some of your stash with me. This is from Marla, and she knows I like J. Wecker Frisch. And she sent me a 1 yard piece of, it's Tidings of Great Joy, but it's a blender. It's the buttons. So that's a good one to put in between your blocks or as a border, something to coordinate, and it's a 1/4 yard. Thank you, Marla. I appreciate that. I'll put that with my J. Wecker Frisch stuff. I like the button theme on there. It's cool. And then I also got in the Connecting Threads magazine. If you're not a if you don't receive the newsletter, or if you've not ordered from Connecting Threads, this is the way you get, you order something, or you go on there and sign up for this. It comes out every month or so. I think it comes out monthly. They don't have, this is May 2024. So, in here this time, I noticed they have a new line of kind of like Minky, but of course they can't call it Minky because I'm sure that's trademarked by Shannon Fabrics, but they have a Minky-like fabric that they carry now that's theirs, and it's called Floofy Solids. And you can use these for 3D items like these, or you can use it for your quilt backings. So it kind of reminds me of the plushy type fabric that's used for stuffed animals and stuff like that. Well, actually they do call it minky fabric here. It says new from CT or Connecting Threads Design Studio. Floofy is a plush 100% polyester minky fabric. Use it for stuffies, accessories, quilts, and quilt backing. And they have a ton of colors in it. It's $11.96 a yard, and it's 58 or 59 inches wide. So just think 60 wide, $12 a yard. So yeah, it's low pile, but you know, sometimes you need a low pile for things. They've got some other projects in here that you can do with it. And I always have a link in my description box if you order anything at all from Connecting Threads. If you just click on that link and then just start shopping from wherever it takes you to from that link, then yeah, I get a little, I think I get I think it's 10%. So they do pretty good for their affiliates. And there's some new patterns in here. Let's see. Clover and Dot by Allison Harris of Cluck Cluck Sew. New pattern, new line. Cute. I kind of like that little pattern there. Looks fairly simple as well. Let's see. What else? I don't want to show you the whole magazine because if you're getting it, then you're not going to want to. And they have their own thread too, and I use their thread. It's good. So that magazine came in, and then I also wanted to tell you that I became a Fat Quarter affiliate. So if you regularly order from Fat Quarter Shop, come in here and grab that link as well. And just jump in there and do your shopping and be on your way. It doesn't, I mean, other than having to look up one of my videos and going and grabbing the link, there's nothing else involved. You just go do your shopping, just go in there, shop, check out, and it captures the fact that you got it from my description box. Okay, so let's talk about something for a minute. Berry wreath. If you're doing the berry wreath, I told you I was going to tell you some stuff about this pattern. There's no problems, but if you have, I wanted to see too if this was what they classified this as. I would call it kind of an intermediate quilt, but not difficult. It's 2 stars is what the difficulty rating is. But I don't know what the 2 stars mean. So probably not hard is what that means, but not beginner either. So anyway, what I wanted to tell you about it is if you've got a Fat Quarter bundle, you're still going to need an extra Fat Quarter of fabric number 13. Or you can just buy a 1/4 yard with the fabric. That'll work. You end up being 8 squares short. That's the only one that I've run into that's not enough. And of course you need 5.5 yards of background, and it notes that on here. I don't have a background yet for mine, so a backing. Backing is 5 yards. Background is 5.5. Yes, of course I have my background because I've already made one. But just wanted to tell you about that. And then also, seemed like there was something else. If you go to page 4, if you have this pattern printed out and you're getting ready to do it, if you go to page 4, I've got some notes for you so that you can cut without having to do a whole bunch of math. And I'm not giving away any measurements of the blocks or the pieces. I'm just telling you how many strips of fabric do you need to cut to be able to get the number of squares they want you to cut. So if you look on page 4 and you look at that middle section where it says piece A through piece K2, Here's what I want you to note. Piece E, you need to cut 10 strips of the size that's indicated there with the fabric. So 10 strips will get you your number that you need. And piece G, you need 16 strips of that size. And piece I, you need 18 strips of that size. And then after that, you can just cut your squares. And you'll come up with that astronomical number of squares that you need. So, yeah, that took me a long time to figure that out because math, I'm slow. And let's see, was there anything else? Oh, on page 5, it's a good idea to transfer the numbers of fabrics from page 4. Okay, if you look at page 4 again, and then look at number 4 on that page, and then you see the dots, like the bullets, and then on each one of those lines, you have like color numbers 7, 8, 9, and 17. Go to your page 5 and put that on D. So if you see there on page 5, you see A through K. So go to your D and transfer over 7, 8, 9, and 17 so that you'll know when you look at this diagram what it's talking about. When you get into it, it'll make sense. So if you put those notes there, it'll just help you. You can figure this out yourself. I know, but I'm just trying to help you. So that was some things that I came up with. The other thing is there's a ton of sew-and flips in this pattern. So what I did is I made a block from start to finish. I did do all my cutting, but I made a block, one entire block, just to see how it went. So there's so many sew-and flips. So I think to move through this project a little bit faster than I normally do is to glue the little corner squares in place and then do my chain piecing. Because what's having to happen is when I do the sew-and flip on the corner, I have to either pin it or hold it or re-hold it or repin it, hold it again to get it to go through there. And if you're wanting to do a chain of those, that becomes a slow process instead of a fast process. So what I want to use is this, and I found this at my quilt store locally. It's Acorn. Now you all have heard of the Acorn products. This is precision piecing glue. It has a teeny tiny opening on it. So all I would need to do is put 2 little drops on each corner of that small square to hold it in place. And I thought, what if I just go ahead and do all those up front, all the different ones that I need, and then I can just run, sew. And then the fun part is actually putting the sections of the block together. So that'll be, much faster without having to stop and do each block at a time. I like doing blocks at a time, but with a project like this, I feel like with all the small pieces, I need to keep things going through the sewing machine, or I'm going to, have to retrain my mind each time that I make a block. And doing the chain piecing that way, I think will keep me interested in the project and getting it done as well in a timely way. So I'm going to try this. I haven't tried it yet. I'll let you know how it goes. Do any of you use this? Do you like it? Do you have any pointers for me on it? My local quilt shop did not sell this by itself. I think they maybe had, but they didn't have any more. But they did have a kit. It's called an Easy Precision Piecing System Kit. So this is the stuff that people use. See that pin there? And then this is a refill for the pin. That's what they use to make their seams flat. They just run that pin across an open seam and then iron it, and it's supposed to be like super flat. I'll try it, but I do not want to get addicted to this because I don't want to have to pay for gallons of that at a time if I get to where, you know, I have to have it. I don't want to get to where I have to have it. So I'm just going to try it out, see what happens. So it's Easy Precision Piecing by Acorn. I'm going to try it. And then, what else do I have for you? I'm thinking. Well, let's do the quilt of the week, the art quilt of the week. We'll talk about this. And I will put a picture of it right here as I read what it says here. This is called Fanciful Flight. It's 70 by 70. And it's by Lucy Klusendorf of Doosman, Wisconsin. Doosman or Dousman, Wisconsin? You're killing me. Paper piecing made these tiny curved triangles in Jacqueline de Jong's design possible. The most challenging part of the piecing was keeping the color wave in place to lead the viewer's eye along the piece. Lucy used fabric from her stash and did her own free motion quilting. A judge's choice winner at the Crazy Quilters Guild show in Mukwananga, Wisconsin. I'm sure I didn't say that right either. Yes, this definitely looks from a mile away to be Jacqueline de Jong's design. And all those tiny pieces in there and that curving that you can get with that pattern method is just amazing. And I love all the wonderful rainbow colors that's used there in this quilt. And it's a big one too, 70 by 70. So, more quilt goals for you. You can get those patterns and try those out. You know, it might take you a year to make it, but so what? Look at the piece of art you'll have when you get finished. So, yes, I did do my journaling last week. I didn't have much to report for Saturday or Sunday, but I sewed a little bit every day, and that's the goal. And then also, I wanted to tell you, someone asked where I got this, and this is the American Quilt Society's calendar, engagement calendar, and they also have wall calendars with this same design, and the 2025s are available if you want to go ahead and get yours. If you are a member, if you've paid your annual dues or you've paid for that long one that's 3 or 5 years or whatever, you'll get this discounted, as well as anything else they have on their site you can get discounted. So I thought I would mention that since someone had asked about it. So I think that's going to round up our chat for this week. I'm anxious to get another Peaceful Baskets in too from the Sew Sampler box. That'll be coming around pretty soon, maybe in a week or so, maybe 10 days. I'd like to do another one of those and keep going on the things that I have to do here. And I even printed out the State Stars Foundation paper piecing for Mississippi. I picked that a couple months ago, and I haven't started other than getting all my copies made. So I have my copies made. I'm ready to go. I want to use that new machine for that. So I need to get my inserts ordered for my table here to be able to use that sewing machine in this table. So there went the chat longer, didn't it? Well, I hope I haven't gabbed too long, but I'm anxious to get things going here this week, and I hope you are too. And I will see you back here on Wednesday. We'll start talking about our sew-along that we're going to do with the bow tie and see what all we can come up with on that. I've got lots of ideas and things planned for that, so you'll see that on Wednesday. And then we'll come back Friday and see what I've got done, see what you've got done. Friday, finish it Friday this week. All right, so let's get going. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon. Bye.